A year ago, Matt and I entered our first 48-hour film festival where we had to come up with a movie idea, write, edit, shoot, upload the entire thing in one weekend. For the 1 year anniversary, I have a bunch of unreleased behind the scenes that I'm going to go through and give you the rundown. Not only is this the commemoration of the 1 year anniversary of Case of the Break Room Bandit, our short film, but it's also going to be the announcement of our 2025 48-hour film festival entry. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll reveal the title and the stipulations we were given on how to make the movie this year. We interrupt this program with some breaking news. The 2025 48-hour film festival has already been uploaded. Please view immediately after finishing this video. Now to your regularly scheduled program. So just a quick breakdown is that the 48-hour film festival is a national festival circuit. We competed in the one in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so pretty much we went to the kickoff event, they call it, and we had to pull two genres. Now you can either choose the first or the second genre, or you can combine them like how we did. So we pulled film noir and slice of life. So film noir being like the 1930s, 40s, like black and white, hard-boiled detective movies, and slice of life being more of just like an everyday occurrence. So all teams had the same stipulations. The character had to be named Evan Wordsworth, and the person's occupation had to be a children's birthday party entertainer. There had to be a line of dialogue, which was, "What does the sign say?" And the line has to be verbatim, too. And there had to be an included prop, which was a roll of blue painter's tape. So with that, we had 48 hours to come up with an original idea, write out a script, scramble to shoot it, scramble to edit it, and get it turned in on time. It went from 7:30 on the Friday night to 7:30 on the Sunday night. That was the deadline. So I wanted to try and document just how much goes into these 48 hours. I mean, just trying to get like the equipment and people and timing it and everything. Oh my god, it's so much work. So let's start with the first video I recorded 1 year ago. Harrison can explain it to you. Yerp, we're here. It is Friday at 2:30. Kickoff is in 3.5 hours at 6. That's when we get the genre, the prompt, the prop we got to use, a character name, and stuff like that. We got 48 hours to make a 5-minute movie. Here at HQ right now, you can see some of the lights in the background. We got the editing setup, working on a Dead by Daylight video. Yeah, we got Seinfeld on the TV. Just waiting to get going. Here with Gerard. Hardly working hard. The bike in the house. Gonna document the 48 hours and see where we go. Peace. Right where I'm standing is like where I slept at night. It was like the dining room or whatever. So I brought my entire desktop because I had all my like the editing software. I had Premiere and Photoshop, and then I also had to bring my laptop so we could record the audio. Matt brought his interface. He got a mic and a boom arm and all that stuff. So we were just like walking around with a laptop recording sound. This time we actually had a Zoom recorder, like a Tascam looking kind of like sound recorder, which helped out like a million times more. After that, we were just kind of organizing the setup, getting the pipeline going for when we can get back, and then Matt and I headed uptown to the kickoff event. It was kind of like a community center art gallery thing. I don't really know how to explain it, but they had like art stuff going on, and while we were waiting, I took this masterpiece. It was kind of funny though, because like in the video I said I'm pretty sure it was at 6 is when it started or whatever. We were like, okay, let's get there like 40 minutes early. And then 6 o'clock rolled around, and then at like 6:10 they come in and start building the stage to do the kickoff event. Like they start like putting like the metal scaffolding and like platform down or whatever. All right, 6:30. We're here waiting to get our genre.
Yeah.
We still had to wait like an hour. It wasn't until like 7:30, 7:45 that we got let out of this thing. And so that's when the due date was on Sunday. They moved it back like an hour and a half or whatever. All right, it is, hold on, 7:16. We just got out of the thing. Our topics are slice of life and film noir. We're excited about film noir. I think that's going to be the big thing. And our slice of life idea right now is office drama where someone's lunch gets stolen, the main guy, and he's really gritty and tough and all that. The prop we have to use is blue masking tape. What else am I forgetting?
Go team! She's got to say some, or he or she's got to say some line about like a sign.
Oh yeah, what does the sign say? Or we can use the line, ask her, she's the expert, so whatever. And then the character we have to have is Evan or Emily Wordsworth, and they're a children's birthday party entertainer. So maybe we can make the office like they hire clowns or something. We can dress one of them up as a
I was
clown.
just thinking it could be like they're related to somebody in the office, or they just do some weird thing
Or
outside.
maybe they just happen to work there
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Like it's a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
police
yeah,
detectives and they just
a little
happen to.
side gig, you know?
That'd be funny. But yeah, look how beautiful the city looks. So it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
City of Charlotte, 2024. 48 hours. Whoa. But yeah, no, literally right after we got that, we were brainstorming. I don't know why, but it was just the first thing that came to me. Is Matt and I were talking about like film noir. We're like, okay, so it has to be like a detective. It has to be like a gritty, like hard-boiled cop or whatever. And I was like, slice of life, like that's just like regular stuff. And he's like, yeah, like everyday occurrences.
The fuck? Why am I on there?
Dude, it would be funny if like he's in this office or whatever and he gets his lunch stolen. So we just kind of like immediately came up with that. It was awesome just having our juices flowing like that immediately. Pause.
That's Bobby. The fuck is this?
But yeah, no, it's cool seeing in that video us like expanding on that, because first we were thinking it could just be like an office setting. But so yeah, we were just driving home, brainstorming ideas, writing them down like in notes on our phone or whatever. And so we called back to the house, and on speakerphone we're trying to just give a rundown.
I think I get that as like big shadows. They have something called a fill light. They have a key light, a fill light. Key light's the main light. A fill light would be a lot less prominent, so there'd be like
HQ. So you could hear Matt explaining like about the lighting setup that we had to do. Like we decided to do black and white, obviously, as you saw. If you didn't see, go watch it. But to really achieve that style, you know, in all those movies, it's like half their face is like bright and the other half is like completely in shadow. You have like the shadows of like the blinds. Or to get that stylized look, we actually shot it in black and white. We were going to use Matt's camera. You can kind of see standing next to Matt in this picture is the homie Aditya, and he had like a setting that could do like a really nice black and white. Like it genuinely looked like film stock. Like it was awesome. So we just shot through that. I barely had to like grade it at all. I think I changed like I had to match the brightness between a couple shots, but that saves so much time when we got to editing. When we came up with our idea, we had to show that his lunch was stolen. So we just kind of like, okay, first shot we can do tonight. He looks in the fridge and there's nothing there. Yeah, and this is continuity for the fridge. And you can kind of tell on the door right here, there's like the Dunkin' coffee and all that stuff. And we shot it, and then Matt was like, I feel like I remember something about like logos or whatever in the thing. So we had to actually reshoot it. Like there would be like a logo just slightly visible in it or whatever. And so we kept having to shoot it and turn all the like condiments and drinks and all that stuff so the logos weren't facing, because we thought that was going to be a big deal. It turned out half the people had like a ton of branding in their movies, so I guess it didn't really matter. But you know, this was our first time doing it. We were trying to make sure that we like really locked in. Also, that jelly, dude, I didn't know when we were gonna have breaks or whatever, so I bought for the weekend for sustainability for everybody. I bought that jelly, peanut butter, and a loaf of white bread just so we could just survive. Oh, this is behind the scenes of the first shot. Aditya had this like cool gimbal, dude. Oh my god, it works so well. Go check him out, dude. He does a bunch of like automotive photography and stuff like that, dude. It's so beautiful. We got the star of the show here. Yeah. All right.
Hello.
So it is 12:40. We've been going for about 5 hours. We, you know, learning curve. We came up with the script. We finalized it on the drive home. We called him up, came here and just started rocking out a little bit of script and just really wanted to try and get shooting. So we finished the first scene. Right now I am putting footage from the GoPro and everything into my computer. I'm gonna start looking at it. It is, I already said it, it's 12:40 a.m.
We're gonna record sound.
We're gonna record
finish
some
up that
sound.
script.
Finish up the script tonight and then go to bed.
I'm doing some paperwork.
Matt's doing paperwork right now.
Couple ammo.
Booyakasha. Dude, you could tell we were already tripping after just grinding for that long. I mean, it was literally just like a haze of just 5 hours, you know? It was just like in the zone. But yeah, dude, we were so tired already. And you could just see me trying to learn how to vlog. I don't be doing that. We just had like notes and camera equipment everywhere. Yeah, I was editing either in, there was like a recliner that I was using, or in that camping chair. See the air mattress, got the laptop. Matt and I, like you said, we recorded some audio, like the footstep sounds and like the fridge closing and like background sounds and all that stuff. But then after that, curled up together on the air mattress and grinded out the script. Yeah, like there was no curtains on that window, so we got like I think it was a shower curtain because of the rings, and we just had to like duct tape it to the wall because there was no rod or anything, just to get like better lighting and make it look more like lived in. Oh my god, this picture is like Paranormal Activity schizo post. I don't know why it's so like red and green, but this was in the middle of the night, and like I said, you saw where the air mattress was, but I woke up like in the middle of the night laying on my back, and I swear it started falling, dude. I think it was just like lack of sleep or whatever, but I woke up and I was like, oh my god, you know, I had to take a picture of it because it was funny, and I was like, dude, from my perspective it looks like it's falling. Oh, and so we stayed up until 4 and just wrote the script, grinded I think almost the whole thing out. I think we had to do the last page the next morning because we just couldn't decide on how to end it.
Alright, what's up? It's Saturday, 10 a.m, starting day 2. Matt and I stayed up till 4 a.m. last night doing, fucking hell, audio for the first day, doing overdubs, like recording the footsteps and opening the fridge and stuff like that. Writing the script. I can't even think right now. The whole crew's getting here any minute now, so I gotta get up. Matt's in the shower right now. And start cranking, man. Let's do it. Start cranking, man.
Pause. Someone tell this dude how to record a vlog, bro. Yeah, you could tell how tired I was. I think it was like, I said 10, I think it was like 9:40 or whatever. We got up at 9:30, and then we told everybody like 10:30, I think, so everybody got there at like 11. Haha. So we finished up the script or whatever. That's me on there. Oh, look, that's Bobby. And that was another thing, the names. I don't know why I was thinking of like steamed hams, like the Simpsons clip or whatever. I was like, dude, it'd be funny if his name was like Chalmers, like Superintendent Chalmers or whatever. This is right when like the Hawk Tuah was like popular or whatever, before the whole like embezzlement whatever happened. I don't even know. Remember all the memes that were like groups of people laughing as hard as they could?
Subscribe to that thing.
Someone said like, what do they even talk about on this podcast? And we were all like, dude, I have no idea. Like, so we were like, no, you said, but we put it on though, like just to see. Like we weren't enjoying it. It was like just to see, bro. It wasn't like. And then Eagle Eye viewers would notice. Got that Taco Bell. Get those Taco Bell hot tier rewards. Chill. Look at these two legends sitting there. Absolute dapper gentlemen. Got Ankith and we got Swap, the two detectives. This movie was made by Indian Power. Shout out. Oh yeah, and then this was the shots of you know, because it was supposed to look like an office building, and we didn't have like hallways or whatever, so there was this white wall right here, and I was like, dude, if we just shot it and just kind of like moved along this wall, we can cheat and make it look like Matt's going down a hallway or whatever. So we recorded him with like different angles, walking to that door to where that umbrella light is, like back and forth a couple times just to get all the shots. And honestly, it looks very convincing. It's movie magic for you. Obviously, we didn't want to smoke in Jared's house, so we lit incense to get smoke in front of the camera and all that stuff. Dude, I've never seen it do this. It burned in a perfect circle, and it just wouldn't break off. It finished the entire thing and just kept looping around, so Brian had to check it out. We had, like, prop cigarettes. I cut off a little piece of incense and stuck it in the tip so we could light it so it still smokes, and you could still, like, you could see the smoke, like, change, like, through the inhale and all that stuff, but it wasn't, like, tar getting everywhere. We set up in LeBron's room. We got the lights. We're doing Detective Perec right now. If you could tell, the other desk is right here. The door's right here. But you don't need to know that. We're gonna set up on the other side. Got these cool maps. Who knows? It is 4:47 on Saturday. We're running a little bit behind, but we finished the script at lunch. Got some Taco Bell. Crazy. The first two like interrogations or whatever were just in Ryan's room. He was such a champ for this. We were literally like, oh Ryan, this setup works like the best with like the outlets and like what's in there. So he was like, yeah, let's get the bed. And I was like, okay, go back in the kitchen, grab whatever lights that we needed, come back. And then him and one of the dudes were literally just carrying his bed in like the frame just out the door. We shot Ankith farther towards the wall like I showed you. That was the first thing we shot with Matt in the door frame so we can get all those shots. And then to kind of make it look like another room, we only shot like from the side angle, and we put the desk on the other side so it looks like it makes sense as like an office building. Here was the lighting check. The last for Swap's detective thing. Again, we just literally carried Ryan's desk out there. We had prop cigarettes. You're gonna ask what makes them prop cigarettes? It's because they were in a movie. We needed like name tags to like legitimize that it's like a detective's thing. Like, you know, they have like the nameplates at the front of the desk. There was some cardboard boxes. We cut them up and bent them, and then we printed out just a thing with their names, cut them out, and since it was in black and white, we used the masking tape that was the prop to like tape it to the cardboard so it looks more like one of those metal or like wood stands that they have. It actually looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Like when you're watching the movie, you just immediately recognize what it is and accept it. Whoa. Yerp.
Hello.
Got that nightmare rotation. We got Josh here now. Yerp. Yerp. Hey. No, did he? Did he do it? That boy Slosh pulled up. He was helping us out for a little bit. Didn't get credit. He didn't do enough work. Maybe next time. But yeah, they were just kind of like talking, rehearsing the script. We got a couple printouts and stuff. It actually seemed pretty legit.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
I had some clear folders we were thinking about using for gels to put in front of the lights to give different tones. We didn't need to with black and white, so we just scattered them on the desk to make it look like he was like busy or whatever. Oh yeah, what does the sign say? We got Aditya sitting down there getting all the POV shots. Boy, Ankith on sound, and someone just had a Chipotle bag, and that's what we used for like the lunch for him. And we just had to make sure that it was like we showed the tape still on it. You can kind of still see it there. That was holding the sign up to fit the required prop into the story. Someone went to Party City or Walmart or whatever and got those balloons, and it was kind of funny. You could see me down there with the laptop because Ryan had to be over there for like the lighting and the shadows and stuff. The length of the cord and just the way it worked out, I had to sit over there to kind of like help direct and look at the shots. I love that shot of like just the balloons, then like Jared's face on the right and the balloons on the left. That feels very like cinematic. This was for the reveal. It's like that reveal that like breaks him. It breaks his morals.
I lost my lunch and my morals with it.
We came up with some banger lines, I'm not gonna lie. He does kind of like the Kubrick stare where you can kind of just tell like slowly he's like something's off, he's kind of losing his mind. So we were thinking this is like the straw that broke the camel's back. Oh yeah, and there was like a little tool like cart, like where you can work on cars and like slide around or whatever. And we were trying to get a vertigo zoom or a dolly zoom. We couldn't really zoom with the lenses that we had, and we couldn't zoom effectively. So to kind of try and cheat it, we did like as much of a zoom as we could. Had to just straight push him on the thing. There's a little bit of skewing on there. You can kind of tell in the shot. It actually worked out pretty nice. Yeah, recording the sound for the last bit. We had like the reflective, like the bounce light, the bounce sheet down there to kind of soften the shadows on his face. Every shot was just trying to hide as much as we could, just so we could like barely fit the frame in. Like, okay, if you sit and crouch just like an inch lower, then we could hear the sound perfectly, but you're not in frame. Same thing with this. When we were trying to do the fridge shot, we had to, you know, fake the light and make it look better so it matched up. But we still had the angles that we wanted, like the looking up angles. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Hey. Where's O'Brien and Josh at? I don't. What are we doing? We were hyped, man. It was a long day. We finally finished up. So for all the voiceovers, Matt and I went to Jarrett's closet because it had like clothes and dampening and all that, and we just grinded it out in like 10 minutes, just in like our makeshift studio or whatever.
Out of all the food in the fridge, mine wins the disappearing lottery.
I think after that first day of shooting, I stayed up again till like 2, maybe, and just got that first scene done. You could say the first 20 seconds or whatever, first 30 seconds done of editing. Yeah, dude, it was a long weekend. I woke up and he just killed me with this. I woke up, my alarm went off. I was like, "Oh, Matt, you up?" And he was just staring at me in this slug form. Went hard. Yeah, and then this was the big jump. I think my alarm was 9:30 or whatever. From 9:30 until it was due at 7:30. Yeah, 7:14. It was due at like 7:30. Yeah, I literally just grinded. I didn't even have time to like get any behind the scenes stuff. I was literally just sitting at that desk with a white monster.
Lunch? I haven't even had time to take a piss yet because I'm working on your half of the paperwork.
Matt had to fill out the paperwork and like the consent forms for the actors and the locations and all that stuff. It was honestly a lot of officiating for all this stuff. We did it, and we Matt, when he was previewing it as I was about to submit it, and he noticed there was one scene, the scene where he sits down in the chair when he's talking to Yash, Detective Parekh. It sounded like a tin can, like whatever denoise, and so I quick changed it, tried to balance it as best I could with whatever noise we were trying to reduce out of the shot, and then quick rendered it, and we got this last one in. By the time it rendered and uploaded the whole thing, I think it was like 7:26 and it was due at 7:30. We got the first cut in as just like a safety, like just, okay, we're not going to be late. let's try and perfect it just a little bit more. And we ended up getting like the perfect version. And this was the next morning. We were all tired. Me, Ryan, and Jared were watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space since it was like October. Goated movie.
What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
The fuck? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Why am I on there?
And then Ryan and I put on Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes.
I said, what you looking at me like that for? Huh? You don't get it? You don't get it?
Oh my god, that movie's so funny. First official autograph, people. So then 2 weeks later, we had the premiere in Uptown, and it was at this like performing arts center that was like an actual like stage theater, but also used as like a movie theater. And dude, this was so cool, getting to go uptown and have something we made being shown on the big screen. Dude, it looks so tiny in that picture. Oh, this was the stage. It was cool. They had like mezzanines or whatever, and like the lights. But yeah, we got the whole squad there. We got our families there and stuff, and it was a really cool experience getting to go uptown and see something we made on a big screen. That's the title card, if you can tell. It's our names, a little blurry, but yeah, dude, this was like a dream come true seeing this. This is what I want to do with my life. Oh yeah, seeing the city, dude, it's like the best view ever after putting in all that work, seeing it on the big screen. It felt like legit. And then I think a week later, they did a best of screening. So out of the 40 entries or whatever, we got picked, and it was only the top 10 best. Don't ever let them tell you I wasn't looking fresh at this thing, though. They said this was like a dress-up event, so we all had like sport coats on or suits on or whatever, and they were actually doing interviews and stuff. It's cool. Some of my friends were like some of the cameramen for the interviews and like the promotional stuff. It was a surreal feeling, like no matter how small it is or like how much of a first step, just being interviewed and being promoted as a filmmaker is just like a great feeling, a great experience. And then they did like kind of like an Oscar ceremony, like awards. Here's Matt and I. Someone tell this dude how to take a freaking picture. They had like a time lapse of it too. Yeah, some of the squad is the cameraman, dude. That boy New One, that boy Tone. Dude, what am I looking at in this picture, bro? They kind of snubbed us in the awards. I'm not gonna lie.
Hello. We got the whole squad here.
We didn't win, but it was fun.
They made a typo. They didn't give us any awards for some reason.
We won that shit. We won that.
Yeah. The whole crew. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he thought I was leaving him out. Yeah. All right. Nah, we're about to get kicked out. My bad.
The guy who ran the festival, that right when Matt and I entered the theater, he pulled us aside. He was like, "All right, guys, I really like your film. I think this perfectly encapsulates what the 48-hour film festival is about, putting out such a good product in such a short time, really being unique with the genres, really being unique with the lines and stuff. And it's so funny. It's so good. We're going to bump you up to be the very first one shown to really get everybody warmed up and in the mood and show them what's possible in 2 days." And we were like, dude, holy shit. Like, this was like a huge like honor, you know, this is like a huge like compliment. And that's mainly the reason we feel like we got snubbed. We thought like he was kind of like giving us a little hint, like, okay, out of the 10 films, it's like 7 awards. But dude, we had like a crew of like, I think 7 people or something like that, like just trying to figure it out. There was people who had like expensive, like real movie cameras and stuff. And they had crews of like 20 people, 25 people. And one of them had the dude from Oppenheimer, the dude who plays Bernard the Elf from Santa Claus. He had like a small Zoom cameo, like a face cam cameo in one of the movies. And we're like, bro, we're a bunch of like knuckleheads just trying to figure out. And these people have like money. It's all supposed to be no budget. And we're like, how did they do all that? We were like the underdog coming into the best picture, getting that huge compliment from the guy, getting pushed up to be the very first film shown and all that stuff. We were fighting above our weight class, I guess I'll say. This was a couple months later. This was in spring of this year, 2025. They actually did a Queen City Culture Festival. And it was like another film festival for just Charlotte. We were able to re-enter this. And there was a couple people who also re-entered and a couple other unique filmmakers. But this was cool, just getting a certificate that we were like selected. And this was actually at like an AMC, a commercial movie theater. So that was really fun. So yeah, this was on an even bigger screen. So we're already moving up. There was a couple little funny moments with the event. Like they kept getting the name of our thing wrong. They kept saying like, Case of Bandits. Break Room, the Break Room case. It was all good. It's just funny, dude. If you want to know what the moon looked like after the Queen City Culture Festival, That's what it looked like. Just thought you should know. Dude, it was huge though. The picture doesn't capture it. It genuinely was like one of the biggest I've seen. It was like the harvest moon or whatever, where it was like red. It's the behind the scenes for the 2024 Charlotte 48-Hour Film Festival. It was a lot of work, a lot of fun. Time for the big reveal. This was the 2024 Charlotte 48-Hour Film Festival. For the 2025 48-Hour Charlotte Film Festival, Matt and I selected comedy and single room as our genres, and the title of our new movie is called Slippery Soap. So this year, the stipulations were the character had to be named Ryan Raynal, and the occupation was a hotel employee. The prop had to be a tablet, so like an iPad or something, and the line had to be, "You ask a lot of questions," and these lines have to be verbatim. Other than that, I'm not going to give too much more away. You're going to have to wait and see. Again, we interrupt to remind you this film has already been released. Please view at your next earliest convenience. Now we return you to the end of the video. We're allowed to post it after the premiere, so I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Peace.